All right, y'all forgive me. I had my Melon Anthony Fantano inspiration to kind of do my intro a little bit differently, but I am a little bit geeked about this. Well, I'm not even a little bit. I'm a lot geeked about this whole presentation. And let me go ahead and turn that off so that's not a distraction. Anyway, how to start a WordPress business that makes passive income in 10 steps. What's up, everybody? Welcome for the first time or back to another DLJ Works video. And we're beginning to shift gears right now. What qualifies me to even talk about this topic? You know, many people, I still have a day job. Yes, I still have a day job. Most people would think that in order for me to even, or somebody even talk about something like this, you would have to be doing this full time. That couldn't be further from the truth. I've been freelancing and doing this for quite some time. And now I have transitioned this idea, this model over to something else. So without further ado, let's just jump right into this all together. Uh-oh, I gotta click on this. There we go. All right, as you can see, let me go ahead and move my screen over here to the top for a second. All right, there we go. All right, a lot of bullet points here. 11 years as a web designer, 20 projects. That includes WordPress, Wix, Weebly. Now streaming platforms such as Ustream and Vimeo OTT. 2-year web graphic design degree. You can actually check out my DeVry story on my YouTube channel if you're interested in hearing about how I actually got and went through and why I chose to go to DeVry. 1 year working as a web designer, remaining as a freelancer. So I spent 1 year at this company right here called Hornet Signs, actually doing and maintaining, being a website manager, maintaining their website, the back end, configuring their hosting accounts, managing a lot of those things. Learning the product development in terms of their actual business, which was stamps and signs and some other things that I actually had to learn. And I was involved with hiring processes, all of that. So I had a good year actually working here, but I missed the teaching. I missed the classroom, to be honest with you. So, but that was a good year, good experience to actually take my skills over the whole decade run and be able to work there for that complete year. All right. I don't do this model as my focus, as my focus is on building products and content, and I would rather give people tools that they could pay for up front rather than trade my time for money. That's a main reason why I'm trying to teach you this whole business model that I've actually used. And back then, when I first started using this and started doing this, I actually would do people's websites and I would sign them up with my JustHost affiliate link. But the only problem with JustHost is that it did not have a recurring monthly commission for me to earn this. This was just one-time commission bonus, sign-up bonuses for people who decided to actually join with JustHost. And most of the time, if I was doing their websites, they would have to join with JustHost because that was the only way that I was going to configure and do everything else with that. So let's keep going. So with this model, you're going to make passive income from websites not dependent on clients or average monthly visitors. So what do I mean by this? I used to work out a deal to where I could blog or do something or have product placement on a person's website, regardless if they were in a medical field or whatever industry they was in. I would try to learn about it and try to do something to where I can market some affiliate and leverage their average monthly visitors, their consumers that was coming to their site. The only problem with that is that there's no guarantee that these people are going to actually have consistent traffic and a good amount of traffic at that on a month-to-month basis. So that wasn't really going to work out. Other things that qualifies me. I've consulted over 100 people throughout my career. And right now I'm also doing this. I am doing this model, not with WordPress though, but I am doing this with Uscreen, and I put a little screenshot here. Of course, I blocked out the names for privacy and confidentiality reasons, but I wanted to use this as proof, as evidence, all right, proof of success that this is possible. All right, this says from Uscreen, this is from my email, and it says you earned the commission, and this is from a month-to-month basis, all right? So this is very real. This is very real, but I'm going to show you how to actually apply this with using WordPress. And the idea is that you can actually charge people $1,000. You can do $1,000 websites, blogs, little simple information websites without being a coder. This little tutorial is for people who want to do non-coding. And if you were a person who is skilled in coding, HTML, CSS, PHP, JavaScript, then you can take this even further. But we're doing this as a gateway, as getting your foot in the door if you're a non-coder. All right. So these are all my qualifications. So I hope I've proven myself with my little credentials here that what I'm about to talk about is very legitimate coming out of my mouth. So with that established, let's keep going. All right, before we get started, remember, your job is simply the configuration. All you're doing is configuring the back end of the website. You are installing a theme, doing back end hosting, configuration, and basic customizing functions in the WordPress website. You are not coding anything. And we're going to return and remember this here later on throughout this tutorial. All right, so as you can see on the screen, we have two distinct pictures. And this is basically where you're going to live. Whatever hosting company you're going to choose, and we're going to talk about that too further on down this little course tutorial, whatever you want to call it. But I actually have that pulled up. So I'm actually here on my Just Host side. And I'm just using Just Host because right now I've been using Just Host for years, for over a decade. And I'm going to tell you that, well, I'll save it for later on in this course. But basically what you need to actually learn how to do if your customers want an email account, they want to learn how to do you need to learn how to do the file management in order to like kind of work through the files. But this is the back end area that you're going to live at. This is what your customers are not going to want to mess with. All right. They want an email account. You need to understand how to set that up, work with the file manager, so you don't need to really, mess with the databases or anything like that. All right. But yeah, SSL certificates, all this configuration, the WordPress installation, all of that. This is where you want to live to make sure that the customer's backend is secured and up and running, that they can back up their websites as need be. This is the types of things that you want to do on a month-to-month management, which we will talk about. All right. So if I was to go back here to my file manager, all right, and this is the cPanel. All right. If you go to public HTML, we're not going to touch any of this, but this is what, after I've installed my WordPress theme, everything is here up on my WordPress, for my WordPress blog itself, because that's where I'm at. I'm on my back end side. So you need to work and how to work with these files and configure things. But you won't need to go into this like often at all, if ever. All right, unless something major happens. So you need to just understand file management and the configuration back here, but it's very few options that you need to mess with when it comes to working with your customers. But if you do need to troubleshoot something, it won't hurt you to learn how to do much of the configuration back here. Now, when it comes to the actual WordPress side, this is where you're going to live at too. You need to understand how to download plugins, how to install plugins, how to download them, find the right plugins for your customers. And you're going to be living here within the customizer. All right. This is where you're going to live at. Based on whatever theme you use, you need to kind of work with that theme and be able to understand the configuration of that theme. I'm not going to mess with this because this is my own personal blog and I have things to set up. You're not going to work with any or touch any of the CSS because this is non-coding. All right. This is a non-coding tutorial. But if you have the knowledge and skill set for doing that, then you can go ahead and mess with the extra advanced things. But for people who are novices and want to keep this as simple as possible, then you just need to live in this area. Out of all the things that you need to understand, you need to understand how to make because when you get a theme, there's going to be a setting where you need to actually, your homepage displays, you need to figure out if you want to make that the latest post. Right now, this is a blog, so I got my homepage as the latest post, or if it needs to be a static page, or if it needs to be something else. All right. And you'll actually see a setting on here that will allow you to change your home page as this home template configuration, this front page, wherever the case may be. All right. You also need to understand how to work with the widgets. All right, because these will actually adjust and affect what your sidebar is going to look like, what your footer is going to look like. All right. And this isn't everything, but for most part, the majority of themes that I've ever worked with, your widgets are going to take care of your sidebar, your footer areas, and certain other areas onto your website. So this is the part that you actually need to learn. This whole tutorial is an idea tutorial. All right, it's a model that I've actually used, but I'm passing on the idea to you so you can have some sort of so you're not out of an idea in terms of how can I make money on this internet thing? How can I make money just selling websites? What are some other things? And it's another way that you can actually add more money onto if you started a small WordPress business, doing and setting up WordPress websites for $1,000 a pop. And you can do this within 24 to 72 hours, just learning and configuring WordPress websites with this setup. All right. So let's keep going. So I'm going to exit out of there. Let's go back. Let's keep going. Now, number one, you need to find a hosting company that you can trust. I just showed you the hosting company I've used for years, but there's a slew of other hosting companies that you can use, but you need to find one that you feel comfortable with. But there's a caveat. There's a catch to this, because the hosting company, the whole model that I'm selling you right now is going to be dependent on the hosting company that you select. And there's a problem with the hosting companies that are listed here on this image. But these are the more common ones. But I'm showing this here because a lot of these hosting companies have a pretty good reputation, and most of them you can trust with your clients. They provide all the tools you need, just enough for you to actually serve a very serviceable website. So these are all respectful companies. So that's why I have this image here. However, more importantly, let me move my image down. You need a hosting company with an affiliate program with recurring monthly commissions. All right. And what that means is a percentage of the monthly payments that's made will continuously go to you. Now, here I have a chart that I actually got from this website right here. All right. By this good looking gentleman that's here from Online Media Masters. I have a larger image of that. All right. So here we only have a few. We only actually got 3 hosting companies that actually do a recurring monthly revenue model. So every time that the person pays for their monthly fee for their hosting, then you're going to get some sort of percentage of that commission on a month-to-month basis. If you want monthly income, make sure that you're not only getting paid one time, that you need something that's going to be recurring. Most of these are just initial sign-on bonuses. So the minute that you actually use your affiliate link to sign on your client, you will just get paid a one-time bonus of however much money this is, but you want a recurring monthly fee. And these also have tiers. Cloudways is the main one I've actually researched and looked into, where you can actually get a recurring monthly income source. If you sign up your customers and you get on their host affiliate program and you want a recurring monthly service fee, then you can get that. What I've discovered with Uscreen is that when a person pays an annual fee for their hosting for that year to use their services, Uscreen will still pay you a monthly income, even if your client is decided to go with annual or monthly. It doesn't even matter. You're still, as an affiliate, going to get a recurring monthly fee. So, but the only 3 that I see here right now is going to be Cloudways, Kinsta, and Cloud Pages. And you can earn up from $50 to $150 plus, depending on what plan your clients get. And and let me be very clear, you don't want to just sell a plan based on your own greed. You want to do what's in the best interest of your clients. Don't try to sell them the highest plan just because you're going to get a higher commission on a month-to-month basis. You want to do what's best for the client, and you want to always remember that. So Kinsta is $50 to $500, but no tier 2 levels. And Cloud Pages is a one-time monthly rate. All right. And you're going to get a recurring fee with the tier 2. All right. Level fee. So this is something to remember. So for now, for the purpose of this course, we're going to focus on just with Cloudways, because it has not only a recurring monthly revenue model, but it's also tiered at the 2nd level. So let's keep going. All right. Now, I've mentioned this just on the last slide. You will sign a prospect through your hosting affiliate link. Don't just send them the affiliate link and trust that the client is going to do this. You need to, excuse me. You need to hold their hand through the process. I don't care how savvy they are on their own, and you'll send them the link, and then I'll sign it up when I get time. I promise you I'll sign it up. That's what the client is going to do to you. You don't want to put the sign up process in their hands. All right. I'm pretty sure they're competent enough, but you want to take charge on this. You can sign up the prospect yourself. Get on the phone with them. Take their credit card information or help walk them through the process on Zoom. That's what I actually did. I was on the phone with my prospect and just actually, he didn't need me to really walk with him through it, but I was there to make sure that the affiliate link was being used and that we was going through the process. My person had no problem with this. Ask them or even tell them that you're using your affiliate link as part of the sign up process. So here you have, see, I have an image of Cloudways right here with their monthly plans. All right. And if they decide to go with annual, because it's the premium right here and it's set to monthly. All right. So if they decide to go with this 8 gig processor, all right, storage, all this other stuff, then they can go ahead and they can get a good set of then go ahead and get a good plan. And this is, I think, just pure cloud hosting too. But you can host websites through it and everything else as well. But yeah, so I'm just using Cloudways as a huge example. So if you're offering cloud hosting to somebody, all right, if you're trying to host your own websites, this is going to be a good deal. Okay, so as I was saying before, this is for cloud hosting. So you have to look also deep in terms and see if Cloudways is going to serve your needs. But right now, I'm only using this, as I said, I'm only using them as an example in terms of the recurring revenue model that they have for their hosting. So when you sign up, so let's right now, I have not researched in depth to see if you can actually do the WordPress, which we'll get into that here in a second. But I'm pretty sure that you can, but we're going to assume that you can. All right. So when you sign up your customer, and you're getting ready to configure their website for $1,000, easy, and you're getting them to sign up with this. So not only did you get upfront money, but now you're getting a recurring revenue model on the back end that you don't have to work hard for at all. That's going to be completely passive. This is one of the passive ways of the revenue model for this business. All right. So you need to make sure that when you're selecting a hosting company, it has a recurring revenue model. That's what makes this WordPress business passive in the first place. Let's keep going. Now, contract breakdown. I already have this link up. So you need to provide a contract. Okay, let's go ahead and let's close this out. All right, discard. Let me see. Oh, save that. All right. So I need to update my access. All right, now, when I actually serve a contract, I have other services provided, what the client will do if they resign on a website, the time frame that they actually have, how much the deposit needs to be. So construction of a website will start from this date and properly end on this date. If said web designer, developer, Deshaun Johnson, that's me, does not complete the project within this amount of time, all services are rendered at a discounted rate. I would do that for my clients if I cannot fulfill the promise of the time frame that I actually gave them. Now, this time frame is going to change because your websites for this service shouldn't take you no longer than 24 to 72 hours. You need to at least give yourself 3 days in doing this. But at the most, at the fastest, you want to do this under 24 hours, because if you're just configuring, that's all that you need to do. So you need to have a contract set up and ready. If you want this contract, just leave a comment below, and maybe I'll link it so you can actually copy it, and I'll find a way for you to have a copy. Actually, this may be available through my email list. So sign that email list, and if you need it, you can get access to it. But you need a contract, all right? You need something with some terms and conditions, time frames, deadlines, the deposit amount, estimated total of services. At this time, as I said, they expected to pay $25 a total amount of calculated for services, but since then, this is an older contract. It's now 50% because it's 50% of a deposit. All right, but this is an older contract, but you need something that's going something in writing that's going to keep y'all bonded in agreement for the terms and services of this whole process that's going on. So a contract is very necessary. All right, so I already said this, 50% up front, 50% when done. So the example is $500 deposit when done. I mean, deposit, then $500 when finished. Like this whole thing now, I'm presenting this whole model is based on a $1,000 a pop website. You can charge more, you can charge less if you want to, if you feel like $1,000 is too much for some simple configuration. But ideally, I think this is a very good price, especially with where things are right now, and for you to get done as fast as you can. Imagine if you had like 10 websites ideally in 1 week, all right? That's $1,000 for every website for 10. That's $10,000 for 10 websites in 1 week that you've done in a short amount of time, just changing some stuff on the back end and making sure this thing is set up for the client. We're going to get all to the front end design and all that other stuff already. But Deshaun, I know you said this is for people who aren't coding. You're still not going to code. We're going to get into that and how we're going to set that up too. But $500 down and then $500 when they're finished. And that's what the contract is for, to make sure that you get the other half of the money that's promised to you. That was an agreement between the client. They have to have some skin in the game. Now, to make this even simpler, you don't want to sit up here and try to reinvent the wheel. There's a reason I didn't put theme forest or Envato themes on here. You want to find a WordPress template and have the client select the one that they want. And I'm not talking about WordPress.com. We want to go with WordPress.org, self-hosted, as we are aiming for the recurring revenue in the hosting plan. As I said with Cloudways, because they have a recurring affiliate model. All right, we want to stick with WordPress.org, not WordPress.com. One is a business, one is still a business, WordPress.org, but it's the reason why it's .org. All right, it's more so nonprofit. It's open source software. It's for you to actually use at your leisure to start your own website. So you want to have self-hosted software, which is WordPress.org. And when we actually look at WordPress.org and their templates, we also, let me mention this. We also want to save our customers as much money as possible. From us, they should only be paying for labor and the hosting that they're getting. Now, when we click on this link, you have a bunch of WordPress themes that you can choose from. They're always updating from the 2017 to the 2021, 2022. They're always having some ideal website for the year. A New Year's Eve, not New Year's Eve, the New Year's Day sort of website update. But let's say if you're doing a website for a dentist, all right, if I put dentist in here, you're doing a very simple website, all right, here you go. You got a whole bunch of like dental, a whole bunch. Well, you don't have really just a whole bunch, but you got a lot of choices in the medical side that you could choose from, that even though if this does say like SKT doctor, you can still use this as a dental website template for your customer, for your client. All right, you want to just choose a very easy template, something as simple as possible. And when you install your WordPress into the back end through whatever hosting company you're going to go through Just Host, all right, and they'll walk you through the whatever hosting company you go through should make this process extremely seamless. You want to keep this as easy. Select a theme for your customer, or even let your customer pick a theme on their own. Let them pick the theme that they want to go with, so you can configure it and go from there. All right, so they can actually do that. Now, let me make sure I didn't skip a slide here. Make sure I didn't skip a slide at all. All right, I didn't skip a slide. Okay, now from there, once you pick a theme, you have everything set up. The customer has picked their theme, whatever they liked, whatever you shopped for them, showed them, displayed. Now your job, after they selected a theme, or you selected a theme for them, let's still go with our dentist. You're not going to come up with any content. That's not your job, to do any writing, to do any photoshopping, any design work, none of that. All right, the most design work that you're going to probably do is changing some colors that's already configured back here. Where? That's right, ladies and gentlemen, in the customizer. All right, whatever's set up for you to use here, and I've used CSS to change the colors on my own website, but whatever's naturally set up here, color options, whatever allows you to change and whatnot, that's where you live at. All right, you're not making this hard, you're not making this difficult. You're not going to do any sort of like custom photo creations, no logo design, none of that. All right, so in this first picture that you see, you're not, like I said, if you're not doing any sort of content creation for them, which is why I have these two resources for you to use to not go about that. You still want to be able to sell them the idea, the vision for what their website could look like, but it's going to be your client's job to look for the content that they're needing. So if they need like professional photography, or they need things that, represents them, they need their own photos in there, they need some custom work, they need a designer, they're going to have to stall out for that. Your job is simple website configuration and setup. All right. So the first thing that you need to do is you can use dummy text. If they want to have some professional a novel written on their website, they want to have some persuasive words, they can hire a copywriter. Your job is sticking with configuration. So the web source that you can use, and y'all have to forgive me, my son is crying in the back there. I'm going to still film this. So let me know if that is a distraction later on. But let's go ahead and let's open this up. Now I like this. I've always used this website for a lot of the projects that I've done in the past for a lot of my customers. And you can actually, what you can do is you can set up the number of paragraphs. All right, space that out, number of words per paragraph. Then you just need to copy and paste it. Just use dummy text. And if you just don't like the look of this is the little too Latin looking for you, then you can also use some story written stuff, random story elements written here. All right, same thing. While the lovely valley teems with vapor around me and the meridian sun strikes the upper surface of the impenetrable foliage of my trees, and but a few stray gleams still into the inner sanctuary. So they still doesn't make sense, but you can just use it like whatever you want to do. You can also use this as well. All right, the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, all that other stuff. It includes every letter on the keyboard. So you have choices here. Dummy text. You can just, have something written, all right, to show what the structure and what the setup of the website is going to look like to your customers. That's all you're using the dummy text for. On top of, and let's go back, Pexels, which is a free photo resource, free commercial-free images that you can use. So if we're looking for dentist, all right, boom. And these are high quality. These are like 4K pictures. You can use these, all right, to go ahead and sell to or put on the website to go ahead and sell it to the dental website that you're creating, or the dentist that you're selling this dental website to sell it to them. And these are high quality images. All right. Maybe they want to stick with and just use these images. All right. But your job is not to be a graphic designer. That's the word I was looking for, the position, or a copywriter. That is not your job. So that's why I provide these two resources. All right, so on this slide, we're just reinforcing everything I actually just kind of talked about previously. Configure the website, learn the Gutenberg editor, learn how to customize the work, plugins, etc. Customer needs to pick out their own images and text, okay? So I mentioned this earlier in this course. So you are not reinventing the wheel or being creative. Give the customers, let me not say you're not being completely creative, but you're not going to be reinventing the wheel and doing anything extra. Your creativity is going to last, your color selection, and just moving a few pixels here and there, but that's going to be it. All right, I'm trying to give you, if you want to be creative, that's going to be on you. But this whole purpose of this presentation is to give you something that's going to be as simple and as fast as possible. This is a quick game plan to go ahead and just put you in for success so you can get in and get out. That's the whole purpose of this. So it's a very basic thing. I don't want to add too much to this in terms of trying to help you be successful and making sure that you can create a very swift business that's configuring these websites. If you want to do extra, that is going to be completely on you. This is a framework that you can use. All right. Give the customers exactly what they want, selling them the vision of their site. They must do their own content, as I said in the last one. Choose the stock images or videos that align with what the client wants. Example, doctor website should use medical images. If you don't know what the Gutenberg editor is either, that is going to be this. So let me close this out right here. All right, so when you open up a post, so if I was to add a new post, then we would talk about this right here is going to be your Gutenberg editor. But again, there shouldn't be any reason that you would need to actually go into this unless you're actually trying to set up a page or something like that for your customer. But, actually, I take that back. It is. This is where you're going to put the dummy text images. All right. If you're setting up a post, you're doing a page, you're trying to sell them. This is where you're going to actually structure your resources from Pexels.com, the commercial free website I just showed you, and your dummy text generator. So that's what this is going to be used for. Now, this is important. This is a kind of a underlooked thing, I personally believe, but I think this is like super, super important. And I think it gets ignored a lot. This can't be overstated. Remove the Powered by WordPress And the theme created by, or this is the whatever theme this is, it's either powered by WordPress, and this is the Elementor theme or the Genesis framework or something along those lines. Here are just two websites right now. I have my church website the website I've done for my church. All right, copyright 2022 Living Witness Missionary Church, and then I've done the barcode design for my own blog. All right, so I have my own barcode here, but as you can see, the remove the powered by WordPress and your own. You want to remove the powered by WordPress insignia, and you also want to remove whatever theme is listed there. Do this for the customer for branding purposes and professionalism. It's just I guess you could say it's the cherry on top. It's the bow at the very end that you want to tie up on top of the gift, but it's branding purposes. Nothing looks more unprofessional than reading something, scrolling all the way down, and just seeing a powered by WordPress. It may seem like a very small thing, but it's a huge thing in the subconscious mind of the viewer who looks at it and just says that, oh, well, this person just grabbed whatever theme they could and just slapped it on here. Like, especially if you're configuring a website for the person, show that you aren't just some amateur. And that's the word that I'm looking for. It makes you look like a novice. Whoever put the website together, it makes you look very amateurish. All right. If it's just left on there, it's going to be very easy to see that the customer may have just did the website on their own, and sometimes that's not a good look. You want to have some professionalism and not make this look like some sort of amateur put this together. So it's a small thing, but it has huge repercussions if you don't take care of this. Now, some themes are going to allow you in the actual customizer to get rid of or customize or restructure the powered by WordPress, your footer, the text on there. But then there are other things that's not going to even let you have access to it. So I'll leave a link in the description of the video in terms of, there's a video I've done a long time ago, about a couple of years ago, where I show you how to remove the powered by WordPress footer off of your website. All right, get that text out of here. Remove that garbage. Okay. So I have a video that I'll link to the description below, and I should have added the link here, or at least a picture, so you can see what the video looks like. But yeah, I have a video for that, so you can learn how to actually remove it. That is probably going to take a little bit of code, but I make it as easy as possible, and I show you step by step what you need to do. So again, the lesson here is that some themes allow you to remove this within the customizer itself. Other themes don't. So that's something to watch out for, but I got your back. I have a resource that will help you. All right, let's keep going. All right, monthly retainer, number 10. This is the last one. Look, another way that you can also add like a little semi-passive income, because in a way this is still active, but if your person doesn't need any monthly attention to it, then that may be some free money you just got for that whole month. All right, this serves as like kind of insurance. It's just like Chris Rock said, in case ish happens. All right, that's what this is. This is a little insurance for your clients. If they want a peace of mind knowing that you have their back and taking care of their website whenever something goes wrong, then you need to be on standby for that. You can have a monthly retainer for $20 a month to update the website, change the design elements, CSS, etc., to fix anything on your website. Again, this is for non-coders, but a bonus is that if you have the coding skills, you can charge even more money because you have more to offer to make sure that the customer's website, from the way the theme looks to maybe something on the back end, something within a PHP code, they need a section added, an element, whatever the case may be. You having that skill set and being able to prove yourself competent that you're able to do this creatively and functionally, that's going to bring a huge peace of mind and security for your client. All right. So you can charge a monthly retainer, and that month they don't need you, then that's an easy, however much money you're charging, $125. So combine that monthly retainer with the recurring bonus that you're getting from the affiliate program for the hosting company. Man, it's a key to success. Now, just imagine, compound all of these websites that you've done. You know, you use Cloudways. You got all these websites that you are like hosting, like on your thing or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And that's just compounding. So you've done like 10 websites. You got like 10 G's or whatever else, or $1,000 a pop, and let's assume the customer's got the highest, plan or whatnot on Cloudways. Considering that they're just doing standard hosting, you get like a bonus, a commission of like $69 a month plus this retainer fee and everything else, that's money that's constantly paying. So you not only made the $10,000 up front, but you've also now have made a good 10 websites, 60 $690 a month just from the affiliate program. 10 times $69, yeah. 10 websites, $690 a month just from the affiliate program, and whatever your monthly retainer is and however many people you're serving, that's going to be a huge thing. So that's why I say the monthly retainer is a semi-passive thing, because it's very still much active. You still have to very much so work within the confines of your agreement with that person. You want to make sure that the retainer is added to the contract. You want to maybe do a separate contract to that, however you want to work that in. And you have a lot of passive income that's just coming into your lap, just doing this on the on whatever basis that you're doing this on. All right, so I left this here is an actual link to an article, this image, but when I actually typed in monthly retainer, the Cloudways articles came up. What a coincidence! I was like, oh, this must be really meant for me to go ahead and do this teaching on this, because this article showed up. All right, so I'll leave a link for this article here. So it says 7 best practices for creating a monthly retainer contract. All right, and those ideas I just presented right here are my own. But if you want some additional information, then you can read this Cloudways article in terms of how to actually really have an ironclad monthly retainer for your client. I was just giving something on a month-to-month basis that would be very fair and simple. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible for you. But yeah, if you want to do even more things, then this is a good article for you to actually look at. All right, well, that is going to be it. If you would like a copy of this presentation in PDF form, please sign an email list below and you will get that as soon as possible. All right, and I really hope you got something out of this. I really hope you feel like you can use this. This is a really great idea. You can immediately put this into action and you can start your WordPress business within 24 hours to 72 hours as the time frame that I was given for you to do your client's website. But let's see if this is something that you can immediately put into practice starting tonight, today, whatever time frame it is for you. Thanks again for watching. I'll see y'all on the next one, or I'll see you on my mailing list. Again, God bless y'all. Have a good one.